Hi, my name is Cheryl Ryan Chan, and I am mom to Nicky of Nicky's Law. Currently, there is a bill being considered. It is H 243 S 139, an act updating terminology and investigative practices related to the protection of persons with disabilities, and an act to update Nicky's Law to protect individuals with disabilities in mass health rehabilitation programs. I am here to support this bill and make certain that the urgency and the impact of this bill is understood. Often there is an assumption that all the places where a disabled adult person is supported are going to be covered under this abuser registry, and that's simply not true. That's why we need this act, which updates the terminology. Let me explain to you in more personal terms. Back when I first introduced the idea of an abuser registry in 2014 to my legislators, it was something that was intended to cover all program areas, and it did not. The initial bill only covered programs that were operated and funded by the Department of Developmental Services. Now that day have programs have been moved to the funding and operation of Mass Health, that eliminates day have programs where folks like Nicky spend half their day at least from being covered by the abuser registry. This is a deep disconnect and a huge error that must be fixed. See, I know very, very well why this must be fixed and how urgent it is. Often people think that they assume that Nicky's abuse and the abuse of others like him always happens in a group home or in a residential setting. Nicky was brutally beaten and abused multiple times at his day program. So right now, if that happened to Nicky again, his abusers would not be put onto the registry. In fact, as an aside, Nicky's initial abusers will never be put on the registry unless they abuse again. There was never a look back after the governor signed the initial abuser registry law into law in 2020. But that aside, it is never too late to fix our mistakes. It is critical that this registry continues to be expanded to cover all environments where people like Nicky, people with developmental disabilities and intellectual disabilities are served. It has to happen. Nicky's abusers took him out in the community during his day programming time. And instead of taking him to explore new opportunities to learn, taking him to his favorite places, taking him to places where he might be able to volunteer and contribute to his community, no. Instead, they took him to remote park areas and made him stay in his van with no access to any bathroom. And when he acted up, they decided to brutally beat Nicky into submission. And then they would return him to his adult providers' offices at the end of the day. This is never, never, never acceptable, and it must be stopped. To the extent that an abuser registry can protect those with disabilities, we must do that, and we must make sure that that registry covers everyone in every environment where they are supported. It is critical. Back in 2018, when I addressed the legislator in Massachusetts at the State House during Autism Awareness Day, I want to repeat how I ended that speech. This is not a bill about services and supports. This is a bill about souls. Make certain that you support this expansion bill in any way that you can and urge others to do the same. Let's continue to do the right thing and protect those souls. Thank you.